All right, everybody. Welcome to the Growth Edge. We're going to share screens here. I'm going to share just my PowerPoint. So welcome, everybody. Let me go ahead and make this a full screen. All right, how's that looking?
There you go, full screen.
All right. So do you see a black box where the video is, or just the whole screen?
I see the whole screen and there we go.
Yeah.
Originally, I started seeing what we were saying.
Okay. But you don't see like the little black box covering things up.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to do just this one little thing here. Hmm. Usually when you do it, when you share it, it shows the speaker on the top.
You are on
So
the top.
I am on the top.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm seeing all of you, but you're seeing me on the top.
Right.
Great. Awesome. That's terrific. Okay. So, and you can't see the little that you can't see the participant box. Okay, great. Oh,
Correct.
yeah, I can see that. Good to know. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Micalizzi, and I'm the founder of Choose Healthy Change. And tonight is the Anthony Bates Foundation Growth Edge launch. So we're going to talk a little bit about Anthony Bates Foundation and what it is that we're up to, and what the big surprise and the big reveal was tonight. So here's our agenda. We're starting a little bit tardy tonight, so the times here will be a little different. But here's the welcome that we're doing now, and then Sharon's going to talk a little bit about the Anthony Bates Foundation, the mission and the why. I'm going to share with you a little bit about Choose Healthy Chain's mission and this Growth Edge program that we're doing together, our Elevate Wellness Community, our nutrition partnership, the Wellness Connection, which is a workforce wellness program, and then there's going to be a call to action and a close at the end. Okay. So if you're watching this on replay, that's okay. We're glad to have you. And if you're here live, we're even more glad to have you. All right, Sharon. So this is Sharon Bates, and she's the founder of the Anthony Bates Foundation. Sharon and I met about 8 years ago now, which is crazy. We've done a couple things together, and we've been kind of in the process of promising to make this growth edge happen for a while. So, Sharon, tell us about the Anthony Bates Foundation. First of all, tell us about you, and then let me know when you want to switch to the next slide, and about the why of the Anthony Bates Foundation, and of course of why you're doing this Growth Edge program with Choose Healthy Change.
Well, of course, my name's Sharon, and I am a cardiac sonographer. I'm also a CEO and founder of the Anthony Bates Foundation. I do cardiac screenings for youth and families all over the country. And you can, next slide.
Okay.
We have been doing screenings since 2001, since my son Anthony passed away. You're seeing a picture of one of my favorite people, Sam. We saved him in 2014 when he was 13 years old. He had a condition called Wolff Parkinson's White, and he didn't know he had that. And since then, he's had his heart fixed at Phoenix Children's. And from there, he graduated high school, college, and he's about to get married. So
Wow.
yeah, we saved his life. So that's exciting. And since the beginning of the year, we've screened over 220 people. I've found 40 people with heart issues and 21 of them with potentially life-threatening heart issues. So one of them was Wolff Parkinson's White, the same thing that Sam had. Three are short QT and three long QT, and two with bicuspid aortic valves. So all those things being said, we screen hearts and save lives. That's what I do.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing how many lives you've saved, and I'm just so excited to, help you guys continue to save lives because it really is an incredible thing that you guys are doing. It really is an amazing thing. So, why do you think that you started to? We've been talking about doing a Growth Edge program for a while. What was the reason why you decided to come on board with the Growth Edge and why we're implementing this program?
Well, the first thing is once I find an issue with somebody with a heart condition, what do they do next, and how do they live a healthy life?
Hmm.
Um, Part of that is, getting serious about your health.
Hmm.
And I wanted to get serious about ways to help people that not just to send them off and say, good luck,
I
you
know.
know,
Found this
but
thing. Have a good life, right?
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to find ways to um, that we could benefit the people that participate as well as um, benefit the Anthony Bates Foundation to continue our mission to screen hearts and save lives.
Well, I'm so excited to be on this call because you're the first and one of many Growth Edge programs that Choose Healthy Change is doing. And so I'm Michelle Micalizzi. I'm the founder of Choose Healthy Change and also Micalizzi Media, which is the marketing arm of what we're doing together. So Choose Healthy Change is a holistic wellness program. Our mission is to empower individuals, businesses, and nonprofits to foster well-being and to thrive on purpose. Okay. I'm just making sure this isn't covering this up. Our vision is to improve the quality of life for as many people as possible by delivering simple, powerful wellness solutions that elevate health, ignite purpose, and inspire individuals, businesses, and communities to thrive. So, I've been a health coach, a yoga teacher, a personal trainer I've been a licensed financial advisor and let's see, I gotta say it again. Personal trainer, yoga teacher, health coach, social worker, financial advisor. And so I found over my career that I really was doing one piece of wellness at a time. And although I was doing it all together for myself, my business was usually focused on one part of that. And so last year, when I made a decision to kind of make a shift in my nutrition partnerships, I decided to look at my entire business and take a look at, what could I do to help nonprofits to thrive. And so the Growth Edge was formed probably the middle of last year. And the Growth Edge is wellness that funds and fuels the missions of nonprofits. And so, what I found with nonprofits over the years of being a philanthropist, of volunteering for nonprofits and working with on nonprofit boards, is that a lot of nonprofits are mission driven. They're mission driven, but they're under resourced. Okay, so they rely on one dimensional fundraising. So there's one thing they do. They do one service and they get paid for that. And if that service is not doing well, then they're underfunded. Also, their revenue streams are inconsistent and they have limited donor engagement when it's off donation. So if you're not doing something with your donors on a regular basis, how do they remember you? And also, they have a burnout from managing growth. So I've wanted to do a lot of different types of projects, one of which Sharon and I were involved in called the Art of Fearlessly Doing Business. And also the Art of Fearlessly Giving Back, where I was interviewing nonprofits for a program that I was providing. And really, one of the biggest problems they had was they were burnt out and they were under resourced. And I don't just mean under resourced for as in dollars, I mean as in people. Okay. And also, what would happen when this kind of perfect storm comes together is that your mission growth is stalled, your partnerships remain underdeveloped, and your revenue is unpredictable. So nonprofits kind of need a fundraising that's sustainable, strategic, and built for growth. And so the Anthony Bates Foundation is really an ideal partner for the Growth Edge, and I'll get a little bit more into what that really is. But one of the reasons why Sharon and the Anthony Bates Foundation is a perfect partner is because Sharon and her team are mission driven and they're seeking sustainable revenue. And they're seeking sustainable revenue. Sometimes people are, just they have enough money coming in from a grant or and they're not looking to increase their revenue, so they wouldn't be a good partner for us. They're wellness and literally heart led focused, okay, and they're ready to diversify income. So Sharon realizes that she wants to have things coming in from different spaces so that she has a diversified income stream. She's open to some modern fundraising models, and then she has a real desire to engage donors and businesses. So the people that are already giving, she really wants to reach out and engage them in a different way. And also, the additional plus with the Growth Edge is that you get a built-in marketing consultant. I've had a marketing company for 37 years. I have a degree in fine art with a concentration in photography, a degree in computer design, and I've had a marketing company for many years. But I also have a master's in um, organizational behavior. So I have a very diversified way of looking at marketing from a point of engagement. And Sharon loved the idea of having somebody on her team that would bring that to the mix without adding another FTE, without adding another line on her balance sheet. She has a marketing person that can help her with the marketing. So both organizations, both my organization, Choose Healthy Change, and the Anthony Bates Foundation, were ready to thrive. Okay. So, some of the benefits for being a supporter, for the supporters of doing a growth edge, which basically is a wellness program that is helping to engage donors and people that are part of the Anthony Bates Foundation service base, and then also businesses, is that donors get to support a cause while improving their own health. And donors, when they're giving, really love the idea of being participating in a meaningful lifestyle-based giving structure. So they feel connected and not just solicited. So by getting people involved in a wellness program that also allows them to give back to the Anthony Bates Foundation, it allows them to feel connected to the organization as opposed to, hey, can you give more, right? For businesses, having an ROI that's integrated into a wellness program, so the return on investment for what businesses, when they integrate a wellness program into their company, is a really big deal. For every dollar you spend on wellness, you're going to get between $3 and $6 back, depending upon the research study that you read. It also improves employee engagement and morale, and charitable impact through everyday purchases is something that a lot of businesses really like to tap into. You see a lot of businesses reaching out and saying, hey, buy this thing because if you buy this thing, we're going to go ahead and give money to this organization. And then giving becomes a participation, not an obligation. So when a business has a service and they have something that they're doing for their people, then people are participating with it, then it's not an obligation like I have to give. It's like I get to give to this thing. So that's where the Elevate Wellness community comes in. So the Elevate Wellness community is a practical way to engage with community that allows us to focus on wellness. And so going back to what I was talking about when I made the decision to change my nutrition partnership last year, it really made me, I was made the decision in November and it made me pause because I wasn't about to relaunch my business with a new nutrition partner and a new focus right before the biggest eating holiday of the season. It would have gotten lost in the shuffle. So I had to kind of sit and think about, what the next step was for my business. And what I realized was that I was living the full 9 pillars of wellness, but I wasn't representing those 9 pillars in my business. And so I made a decision to turn Choose Healthy Change into a holistic wellness company. And so I've already done this with corporate America, and now I'm doing it for smaller businesses and nonprofits and for individuals. So the 9 pillars of wellness include physical, which is your exercise, your nutrition, your sleep, those types of things. Mental is your cognitive health. Are you working on learning things? Are you working on relieving stress to your brain so you can learn better? Emotional is, of course, our feelings, which, feelings are a really big deal. Very rarely are people overeating just because they feel like overeating. It usually has a lot to do with emotion. So are you taking care of stress? Are you doing things that are alleviating emotional stress on you on a regular basis? And then purpose. So a lot of employee-driven wellness programs will have vocation or career or professional here. But if you've seen the movie Living to 100, the Blue Zones on Netflix, it talks an awful lot about the people that make it to 100 or people that have ongoing purpose. So whether you're a student or you're currently employed or you're retired, having purpose in your life is a very important part of being well. Environment, where you live and where you work. And like right now, I'm standing up during this Zoom because I know if I sit all day long, that's not good for me. So I spend as much time as possible standing throughout the day and making sure I can stand up straight, that the computer is in front of me in a way that's not going to hurt my neck, right? Also, one of my favorite books is Leadership by Rudy Giuliani. One of the things that he learned was that when people were coming in through the bridges and the tunnels in New York City when he was mayor, if they were to take care of the bridges and the tunnels by cleaning up the experience coming into the town and getting rid of the squeegee guys and all the people that used to kind of accost you when you were coming through the tunnels, that actually exponentially changed the wellness of New York City in a whole. Also, they found those people that were the squeegee people were sometimes people that were, the reason why they were doing that was because there was a warrant for their arrest. So one of the big reasons why they were able to reduce the crime in New York City during those years was because of the bridge and tunnel effect, where they cleaned up It's called the broken window effect. If you clean up what's around you, then everything elevates. So environment's very important. Sustainability is very important. Financial, we all know that, money is that important, but it's right up there with air. So if we're not managing our budget, we're not managing, where we're going, where we've been with our money, that can cause stress, and that leads directly to stress-related disease. Social. So are you having fun? Are you getting out there and talking with people and socializing? Do you have a relationship at home that's healthy? What's your relationship with your partner? Or if you're single, are you doing things to get out there and be with the community? So here's another piece of things that I think people are really always forgetting. I've broken these down into different pillars. So the three core pillars are physical, mental, and emotional. We all know that we need those things, right? And then the foundational pillars are purpose, environment, and financial because we know we need those things. But now we're getting into the forgotten pillars. So social is so important, but also fun and creativity. A lot of times people are bored. They'll eat because they're bored. They're not doing things that are fun. Oftentimes people will derail themselves professionally because they're not building fun into their life, and so they burn out and then they just kind of give up and stop getting to work on time because but they put fun before work. So having fun and creativity in your life on a regular basis is a very important part of being well. And then the last one in this circle is spiritual. So that's the first one for me because I know everyone who knows me knows that I'm a Christian. I'm a Jesus fan, but that might not be your thing. You might have a different higher power that you pray to. You might believe in nature or science, but having something that you believe in that's bigger than yourself is very important. So the Elevate Wellness community is about the 9 pillars. And so to Sharon's point earlier, as I wanted to kind of know a little bit more about why she was considering doing this program, it's because when you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of the whole person. We could just look at nutrition or just look at exercise, but if we don't look at the other 8 pillars, then we're really missing the mark. So I created the Elevate Wellness community so that I could help people with the thing that I found over the years that I've trained and coached thousands of people as a personal trainer, as a yoga teacher, as a marketing consultant, a business consultant, a financial advisor. What I know is that people would make appointments with me for one really big thing, accountability, for motivation, affordability, and flexibility and structure. So I could go ahead and train you, or I can work on your diet with you. But I think the biggest thing that people would hire me for was to be accountable to themselves. So the Elevate Wellness community has been put together to help people be accountable to the goals they set for themselves. Okay. And if you ever want to have lasting change happen in your life, you really need community, inspiration, and follow through. So by having a community hold you accountable and inspire you, you're more likely to follow through. So wellness isn't a solo act. It really is a shared journey. And that's what the Elevate Wellness community is about. So when you go to Elevate Wellness elevatewellnesscommunity.net. Okay. You can also scan this QR code. I'm moving that box out of the way just in case it's covering it when it's recording. And you can find out what and why and who. So what this is for it's a simple check to see where you're at with your overall well-being. What you're going to do is you're going to measure your strength and your habits across the 9 pillars. It provides actionable insights and no perfect score is required. So when you go to the wellness assessment, it's going to have all 9 pillars laid out for you. You're going to score yourself from 1 to 5 stars. And then you're going to say one thing that you're currently working on, one thing. One of the things I think that people do a lot of is they give themselves too much to work on. And then you've got a really long to-do list. We've all had one of those where you got a really long to-do list and nothing gets done because you get super overwhelmed. So every 3 months, I'm going to encourage people to redo their assessment, but you really can redo your assessment whenever you want if you're ready to change the thing that you're working on. Okay. So why it matters is that if you have a clear baseline of where you're starting, when you're really starting to pay attention to where am I on these 9 pillars, how well am I, it's very important to know where you're starting and that your experience in the Elevate Wellness community is tailored to those particular goals. And knowing is a very important part to doing and getting support and accountability. So this is for anybody who's wants to improve their wellness in a balanced and realistic way. Okay, so it's ideal for people and organizations seeking meaningful and lasting growth. So this is a really great way to start on finding out where you're at. So the who, what, and when of this is okay. So the who is individuals who are ready to choose a healthy change. I named my company Choose Healthy Change very intentionally. It's really great for self-employed people or for gig workers or for contractors who don't normally have like a wellness program that they're currently tapped into. And it's really great for businesses that are ready to support their employees. So the what is, this is super affordable. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit in the next slide. Okay. It offers support. It's flexible for busy lifestyles. So you can sign on for the call on Wednesdays at noon, or you can watch it on replay. It's structured, and it's also a shared journey. And when it happens is on Wednesdays at noon. And here in Arizona, it's Mountain Standard Time. We don't practice daylight savings time. So every Wednesday at noon, I chose that time strategically because if you're at work, you want to do this in your lunch hour. If your boss is saying, "Hey, listen, we're gonna pay for this wellness program," I wanted to make sure that it was during working hours. But also, lunchtime is a really great time because that's one of the times during the day where people can actually take a couple seconds out for themselves. If you're unable to make it at noon, here in Arizona, it would be lunchtime. Back east, it's going to be 3 hours later. Yeah, and depending upon what time of year is, it's going to be an hour different in California. But you can always come back and listen to this on replay. So the call happens on Wednesday, and then and let me move this box again. The replay is available on Thursdays afternoon. So if you're not able to make the call, you can always be available on Thursdays to watch the call. So again, the Elevate Wellness community, I decided to make it super affordable. When I was a personal trainer, you would have to pay $150 to work with me on an hourly basis. And I really, loved working with the folks that could afford that price point, but it only allowed me to work with people that could afford $150 an hour, which meant that it narrowed the population I could work with. So the reason why I'm doing this so affordably is I want anybody to be able to afford this. So $15 a month. It gives you accountability, it gives you motivation, it gives you community, it helps you set goals. And it's also, there's a Facebook community that has daily inspiration in it. So you join the Facebook community for free, and then the Elevate Wellness community is powered on School. So School is another really big change that happened. It's been around for a while, but I would have had to have created an app myself to be able to do this. But now School is an online learning module that allows me to deliver this. So up to Q1, 2, and 3 of this year, we're focusing on building the Elevate Wellness community. But towards the end of the year, Q4 or Q1 of 2027, there'll also be an additional membership that will be the Elevate Wellness Circle. That will be $50 a month, and that will be for targeted small group focus. It'll also have events and retreats that you can do. So one of my goals is to have, for example, we were talking about paddle boarding before we got online. So if you wanted to come for like a daily paddleboarding retreat, we can do that. We'll be doing yoga retreats and different kinds of things. So you'll be able to get discounted prices for those kinds of experiences. But also there'll be a business wellness educational library. Choose Healthy Change offers once a month some type of business training or nonprofit training, and all of those trainings are being recorded, and you can be able to have access to all those trainings in the Elevate Wellness community. And also there'll be a Facebook community just for the people that are in the circle. So that's a little bit more about the Elevate Wellness community. Now I wanted to talk about our business partners. As I was saying earlier, we do have a nutrition partnership. It is not a requirement to take part in the nutrition part of this, but it is an option. And another reason why I wanted to make my business more holistic was because if people wanted to work with me on their nutrition, that was great. But if they didn't want to work on their nutrition, then there was no way for them to work with me. So this way you can work with me on motivation and accountability, and you can also choose to work with the nutrition program. Our nutrition program is Shaklee. Shaklee is 70 years old. It's research driven, has research driven success. And it's science based, and it's backed up like an amazing amount of research. Participants can choose to work with Shaklee, and if they do, 10 to 40% of the proceeds from any Shaklee purchase is benefiting the Anthony Bates Foundation. So you can choose to work with the Elevate Wellness community, or you can choose to work with the Shaklee nutrition program, or you can choose one over the other, or you can do both. So it's ultimately flexible. And also you enroll directly with Shaklee, so that you'll get all the amazing benefits of being part of the Shaklee community. Okay. So I wanted to talk about fundraising models and how this works. So when you purchase a Shaklee product, and we're going to talk about the 10 hero products that Sharon still selected, what you're doing is you're participating in a cause marketing campaign. And I wanted to give you some ideas of other cause marketing campaigns that have been helpful over the years. And so many people know about Amazon Smile, which is now defunct, and other people know about Kendra Scott. Okay. So I wanted to talk about the differences between these programs. So when you purchase from Shackley, every time you purchase from Shackley, the Anthony Bates Foundation gets 10 to 40% of every sale. Okay. Well, if you were to purchase from Amazon and you chose the Anthony Bates Foundation, if they were part of that program, which is now defunct, you would only get 5%, 0.5%, not even 5%, 0.5%. And that was one of the reasons why they didn't succeed because, the organizations weren't making enough money. So of course the organizations didn't want to push this program. Now, if Kendra Scott is a jewelry company and they would do an event for you and you would get 20% of sales, one time, 20% of sales. So the program type with Shackley is it's ongoing and it's scalable because people purchase once and they usually repurchase. Okay. Amazon was passive. So if you bought whenever you felt like it, you could buy whatever you wanted and you got a 0.5% commission on that. And then Kendra Scott is a one-time shopping event. So it happens once and that's it. End of story, right? So with the Growth Edge, it's totally customizable. So Sharon and I are working together to make sure her email campaigns, you'll be start to see some information about Shackley and about the Elevate Wellness community coming out in the email campaigns in a very thoughtful and conscientious way. Okay, we'll be talking about social media and making sure that we're communicating this program on social media, and then of course in the space that Sharon habit in her office in her space, and also as she's doing screenings, we'll be building in a completely customizable marketing plan for the Anthony Bates Foundation. Amazon didn't do anything for you as far as marketing was concerned, and with Kendra Scott, it was very minimal. You maybe got a sign, you got a little bit on the front end, but that was it. So engagement is all customer driven for all three of these models. But with the Growth Edge, you can also involve staff and business owners. So the way to engage people is just deeper and more robust. And then the value add is that wellness and engagement and sustainable revenue together are very powerful things. Because if people want to, give in a way that they're getting something back, then there's more likelihood that they would give ongoing because they're getting something out of it. With Amazon, it was a donation only kind of thing, and there was no real connection with the charity other than the fact that you signed up once and that was it. So there wasn't the ongoing engagement and continued discussion and interaction with the organization that you were sponsoring. And then with Kendra Scott, it was just a shopping experience only, and that was it. So Sharon and I went ahead and chose some products that were heart health savvy. Okay. So Sharon
Mhm.
went through all the products at Shackley and she made a decision on 10 products. And so I'm going to ask you to screenshot this slide so you can remember what the products are. Okay. And then when you go into Sharon's website, which you can get to from this QR code, just go ahead and put your telephone over the QR code and it will bring you to the website. You also can Google search for these products. Okay. So blood pressure support is what is obviously that makes perfect sense because it helps you to maintain healthy blood pressure if you're already at a healthy level. Okay. Omega-3 jellies are very convenient and they're easy to use. They're omega-3s and that's good for cardiovascular health. Omega Guard is high potency omega-3 acids, and that supports not only your heart, but also your brain. And then cholesterol reduction complex that supports healthy cholesterol levels and cardiovascular function. So this is purely in the heart health category, and these are all supplements, okay? Now, in the vitamin category, one of the main reasons why I chose Shackley as a partner is I love their Micalizzi campaign. It's personalized daily packs that are tailored to your particular blood type. So you take a wellness assessment there as well, and you actually put in the results of your own personal blood work. And then what happens is it gives you a flexible formula that adapts to your lifestyle, your diet, your goals, but also your particular blood type and exactly what's going on in your blood. So if you need more zinc or more vitamin D, or you need less of this or more than that, then the packet that you get literally comes with your name on it and it is absolutely customized to you. So it has antioxidants and other key nutrients that support cholesterol and blood pressure, along with maybe one of the things that you're having is you're not sleeping well, or maybe you've got gut health stuff. So you'll have a little packet with your name on it, totally tailored to you. I love this. Completely takes the guesswork out of your vitamins. Also, there's a pack that you can use that's called Vitalizer. There's a men, woman, and gold pack. It's pre-packaged daily vitamins, and so it has vitamin B, magnesium, and potassium, all for heart support. But it also contains antioxidants, and which is protective for your cardiovascular health, and it supports energy, metabolism, and overall wellness. So if you take a screenshot of this, then you can search for Micalizzi or Vitalizer and read some more descriptions of what these products are on Sharon's store, which again, you would just share the QR code. And then collagen, we've all been hearing about collagen lately. We all know that collagen's a really big deal. So there's actually two collagens. And initially, Sharon chose collagen 9. Okay, it provides 10 grams of collagen and 9 amino acids in one little packet. It's really great to put in your shake. You open up the packet, it goes in your shake. It's perfect. It supports skin, hair, nails, and joint health from the inside out. It's a really tiny little packet. It's very affordable, and it's a really great way to easily add collagen. You can put it in your coffee, you can put it in your shake. Now, just yesterday, we had Life Plus launch, and this is a BioCell collagen. It delivers clinically proven and studied blend of collagen type 2, hyaluronic acid, and I can't say the other word, chondroitin. I probably am saying it wrong, but I'm so excited about it. I ordered mine last night. It literally came on board yesterday. We are at Shackley are super excited about it. So Life Plus BioCell, there are several different versions of BioCell, but this is the newest one. So together, collagen 9 helps to build your collagen in your system, but Life Plus helps your body to use it and optimize it. So if you bought both together, it's kind of like a superpower together. You could buy one or the other. Both are affordable. And then lastly, protein. So the Life Shake is a meal replacement. It supports lean muscle and recovery. It promotes satiety. It makes you feel full so that you're not hungry. It helps with portion control. My mom just loves it. If you're doing a shake and it's just protein, this is a meal replacement. So it delivers essential vitamins and minerals for daily nutritional support. My mom's blood work has never been so good because she's doing these meal replacements. Okay. And of course, we can't claim anything that's going to heal or change your health. That's not the way I'm saying it. I can't promise that your health is going to improve or that we're going to cure disease. But what I can tell you is personally, my blood work is great and so is my mom's. And so this also supports healthy weight management. So if you've been having a tough time keeping your weight in check, adding a shake that's high in protein to your diet is a really great idea. So it helps also with energy. So if you're finding that you're crashing throughout the day, having a meal replacement that has all the nutrients and vitamins that you need to be able to have a completely balanced diet is a really great idea. So additional partners moving down the line, we'll be adding travel. So travel is a very important part of wellness. Wellness through adventure, very important. Just keep your eye out for that in Q4 to Q1. Also gratitude, having a systematic way to mindfully practice gratitude also boosts well-being. So you can watch out for the gratitude module at the end of the year or the beginning of 2027. And then also apparel. We'll be adding an apparel line that will be purpose-driven merchandise that will help you to support the Anthony Bates Foundation. So the last thing I want to talk about as far as wellness is concerned and the programs is if Sharon has business donors, and if a business donor wants to implement a wellness connection in their workforce, that would be going into the business, evaluating where they're currently at with their wellness in their business, and putting a program together that uses a combination of Elevate Wellness Community, Shackley if they choose, and a customized program just for that business. Then what will happen for the Anthony Bates Foundation is that they will get earned recognition and revenue by referring businesses to the Wellness Connection program. And the referred businesses gain access to a wellness strategy that is directly related to creating a relationship with a nonprofit, which is increasing their relationships with the nonprofit, but also with the community. And then it drives additional visibility for both the business and for the nonprofit. And it creates mutual impact for healthier workplaces and a stronger nonprofit. So Sharon and I will be going through her contact list and looking for the business owners that might want to implement a wellness connection in their workforce. And that will benefit the Anthony Bates Foundation as well. And all of it will be customized depending upon the company and what they're looking for. But we're really looking forward to getting as many businesses involved in supporting the Anthony Bates Foundation through wellness as possible. So this is where wellness meets strategy. So the Growth Edge turns wellness into a fundraising opportunity that's multi-tiered that allows Anthony Bates to have sustainable income. The Elevate Wellness Community is the foundation, both of the Growth Edge and the Wellness Connection. So by building a community, it helps both the nonprofits and the businesses to grow. And the Wellness Connection basically supersizes business donor engagement for nonprofits. And so those three things together are why I call myself a wellness and marketing strategist, because it's one thing if you build a wellness program, but if you don't tell anybody about it, and you don't communicate it, and you don't connect it to a bigger why and a bigger purpose and a bigger mission, that will be as if it didn't exist. So one of the reasons why the wellness program that I created for IDX Systems Corporation back in Vermont won awards was not only did I put together a wellness program, but I communicated it internally and I marketed it externally. So by making sure the people that are working with your organization or are doing business with you or are employed by you or volunteering with you know what you're doing with wellness, and then also making sure that the community knows by marketing it externally and telling the story of wellness, not only for yourself personally, the nonprofit, but also how businesses are aligning with that mission. So you can go ahead and screenshot this. If you have any questions about the products or any questions about getting involved, or maybe you might know another nonprofit that might want to get involved, you can schedule a one-on-one with me at meetwithmick.com, and I'm limitlessly available to you to tell you more about the products, more about the Elevate Wellness community. Also, choosehealthychange.com, that's my website. You can go take a look a little bit more about these things I just told you about and learn a little bit more about it. You can sign up for the Elevate Wellness community by going to elevatewellnesscommunity.net. And I'm going to give you a QR code here in a moment. There's my telephone number and my email. So go ahead and screenshot that and you can reach out to me. And now here's the fun part. We have a Shackley gift bag from the Anthony Bates Foundation and also a a gift for a one-time lifetime membership to the Elevate Wellness community from Choose Healthy Change. And so we're going to go ahead and I think because we have a limited attendance today, we are going to email you the results of that competition. So Ashley, of course, you'll be getting something, but we're going to reach out to the folks that weren't able to be here tonight to make it fair and see if maybe there might be some more people that might want to engage with this recording and then be able to sign up to get the gift bag and the one-time membership to the Elevate Wellness community. Ashley, I'll tell you right now that you will get a membership to the Elevate Wellness community and you can participate if you choose, okay? So if you want to buy from the Anthony Bates Foundation store, you're going to scan the QR code over here that's in purple with the little heart in the center. That's the Anthony Bates Foundation store. And if you'd like to join the Elevate Wellness community, you'll go to the Choose Healthy Change website and fill out the Elevate Wellness community um, um, oh my God, what assessment. And Ashley, you will get an email from me that will allow you to join. Okay. The catch with you, Ashley, is that you'll have to get permission from your parents to participate. So we'll talk about that a little bit later because you're younger. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, my,
Did Mikey come back?
no, what's happening is my, I keep on leaning on my, microwave and it's pushing the buttons and so
Oh,
it's telling me it doesn't like that. I don't know. I don't even know what buttons I've been pushing. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share here and then just open the floor for questions. We have 6:47 right now, so we have gone a couple minutes over from the half an hour we had allocated. But Ashley, do you have any feedback or questions for us?
Um, Not really right now. I think it's a really good idea. I'm excited to see how it goes and everything for businesses, especially. So it's a really cool opportunity.
Well, thank you. You're super sweet. And Sharon, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
just excited to get this going.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So this recording will be put on YouTube. So if you haven't made it tonight, we've done this strategically so that we can share this, and we might Sharon and I might get together and do another one of these, later. But for right now, this recording will be available on YouTube. Definitely do share, and really. The Elevate Wellness community was created to be able to help as many people as possible live holistically well. In all the years that I have been in the health and fitness industry, I actually grew up in a bicycle shop in Vermont. I've been an athlete my whole life. I think that just focusing on one aspect of health it felt disingenuous to me. And a holistic approach to wellness is the only way to be well. If you're unbalanced and you're only grinding in the gym and trying to watch everything you put in your mouth, but you're not taking care of the other pillars, then you're missing the mark. Because the entire reason why we're here is to be healthy and enjoy each other and contribute to our humanity and to our families and to each other. And if we don't look at all of these wellness, and I'm getting chills as I'm saying that, if we don't look at all of these pillars personally for yourself, okay? I could tell you what I think your goals should be, but you wouldn't work on goals that aren't your own. And these goals can be as micro or as big as possible. So, for example, I'll tell you what one of my goals are, just off the top of my head. Environment. When mom and I moved in, we have a patio outside. It's out there. We love it. Okay. And I noticed that they didn't paint the outside of the house inside the patio because when you put the screen up, the HOA feels that now that wall inside my patio is my responsibility. Well, I have to paint the wall. So that's what my goal is for environment is to make sure that my wall is painted in the backyard. Okay. In the cognitive area, I'm implementing a new CRM called Go High Level. It's a huge amount of learning. I was just on the line today learning how to connect my send out card application, which is I can send cards to people with my Go High Level. So I'm learning a ton in that area. And with purpose, here we are doing my purpose. Have a goal to have um, 8 businesses by the end of the year and 4 nonprofits that are actively involved in the Elevate Wellness community and people involved with Shackley to their comfort zone. Okay, so I would imagine between 10 and 20% of those people that are involved in that will be doing Shackley as well. Okay, I know what my goal is as far as tithing with my church. And so I'm focused on what my goal is with my church. And it's just so important that I stay focused on those things because if I am able to do that by having purpose, it makes everything else easier. It's a reason why you put your feet on the floor. And another example is fun. I am a grinder. I think you can tell I'm a hard worker. So I have to make sure I put time in for fun. So on Sundays after I go to church, I'm trying to make sure that I build in one fun thing. And mostly it's been on my motorcycle. I haven't been able to get on my motorcycle. So I'm getting on my motorcycle after church, even if it's just for a half an hour loop. Yes, I wear a helmet. Yes, I'm safe. Yes, I go the speed limit. But these are the things that I'm working on. And if you're only working on, I'm always dieting and I can't get skinny, you're missing the point. You're missing the point of life. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be lived. And so the Elevate Wellness community is an opportunity to live, but also do it in a way where we can give back to great organizations like the Anthony Bates Foundation. And my goal for the Anthony Bates Foundation is that we make enough on the Elevate Wellness community because they get 40% of every ticket that's sold there and they get 10 to 40% of every Shackley purchase. Our goal is that all of these purchases cover the operating expenses for the Anthony Bates Foundation. And my ultimate goal is to have at least 10 nonprofits that I'm working with that the work that we're doing together covers their operating expenses so that they can take the money they're getting from grants and from all of you and use it for their missions. And in Sharon's case, it's saving more lives. It's saving more lives and helping less parents to have broken hearts because Sharon created the Anthony Bates Foundation because her heart was broken because she lost her son. And let's save as many parents from having that experience. I also lost a brother. I know what it feels like, what it looks like when a parent loses a kid. It's something that if it's in our power to change that, we should change it. So if you're already buying a shake and you're already buying vitamins, and I hope that you're buying a multivitamin. I hope that you're doing some kind of shake that can supplement your nutrition. Why not do it in a way that benefits the Anthony Bates Foundation? So that's my soapbox moment for the day. I really appreciate you guys letting me go a little over time. This is our first time doing this presentation. I learned a lot doing it. And thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.